What's up? What's up? What's up? Can't hear the. What's up? What's up? Still can't hear it. Is it there? Oh, there we go. There we go. What's up? This is In My Circle. I am Ralph, also known as Ralphie Rotten. And yeah, it's been a while. And you probably hear the background music. You see the title. Yeah, so, we all, as fathers, we all do Little League and stuff like that. It's, I guess, for some of us, is a rite of passage, and, it's a time to bond with our kids, our fathers. And, 3 years ago, my wife signed me up without me giving her any response or reply as to would I do it or not. And I said, I don't. I told her first thing. I said I didn't want to coach. I said whatever you do, don't make me a coach. Don't. I don't want to do it because of the drama. And we also, it's true. The competition in Little League is real. No matter what they say, it is real. And you see videos, you see YouTube, World Stars, anything pertaining to you know dads or sports families, parents getting in arguments and stuff like that over the past years, over the years, and you're like, I don't want to be one of those parents, or and I'm not one of those parents that would fight somebody, because stuff like that. But I don't want to be one of those parents that has to be put in one of those situations and pick to either fight or flight, you know, or walk away. Try to, it's hard, you don't because not only it's gonna look bad at you, embarrass you, you can get arrested. It also can look bad on your child or children. So it's it could be crazy. So 3 years ago, I signed up, brought my kid in, and this is like on just off recent. The Braves have won. Everybody knows I'm a Braves fan. Braves have won recently won the World Series. I had all my Braves stuff out, all decked out in Braves gear, and I come in and I'm showing him, my son, how to field the ball and how to be, and just proper, just. Then of course they see me a mile away with Braves gear. They're like, yeah, this guy likes baseball, and so they asked me, and of course it's t-ball. T-ball, you don't think nothing of it. It's innocent baseball. They're learning how to play. First year, obviously, I didn't have a big team. I guess I was a rookie coach teaching rookie ball. Second year was a little bit more. It becomes a little bit more knowledge based, and then it becomes, you know, you start to understand when not the coach, not just the coach, but everything in general. You understand the rules and how things are going, and how things work out, and vice versa. Well, last year, I second year sophomore coach, I had a couple bumps, not bad, but a little bit of bumps. But overall, I had a great season. Still t-ball, and we continued to practice throughout some of the summer, and labeling ourselves the boys of summer, having fun, just just park baseball, nothing big. Just went to a park, set up bases, and just practice, had fun. Parents, and players, all played and everything, had fun. Well, this year it changed. There was like an official draft. I had to draft my team. The expectations. My boy Ruben
Yeah,
enters the chat,
gotcha. It's
and
like a
so the this year, the rules
quarter.
change because it's now it doesn't. You're not the kids are not hitting off tee. Kids are hitting off a, a pitcher, either a player learning how to pitch or a coach, and it's a coach pitch developmental league. So this league is probably this division is probably you know more development. This is a make it or break league or division for these kids come out of rookie ball into the minors, our mission as coaches is try to teach them the game the right way and
Right.
to love the
Exactly.
game.
Exactly.
And remember I explained the hesitation because of crazy things and competition. Some are more competitive than others, and everybody knows my philosophy in baseball is you play the game right, you bring your A game, play the field, play the position, throw the ball, have fun, leave it all on the field. You know, that's how and every game, of course, was the same way. We preached win or lose, win. The first,
Right.
there was chatter when we had meetings that you guys are gonna walk away with.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm not being rude. I'm sorry. I got like a whole bunch of messages came through while we were setting up.
Oh, that's no problem.
So
No problem.
I'm
No,
just,
no,
it's all
no.
business related.
No. He can. He's just there to commentate with me.
Commentate, yeah. Okay.
But we came out. Those chatter that oh, you guys are gonna run away with the division, and I said, well, that's great to say. Thank you for the kind words, but we still have to play. We still have to play the
Right.
game.
You
The
still have to
results,
play.
the result. You could be great on paper, but the results may vary on the field. So, of course, we came out, like 3-1, 3-1, 3-1, or 4-1. We looked like, oh my God, we are the team to beat. And next thing you know, we started getting slammed. We started getting, and mind you, there's only a few teams in this division. It's like only 3 teams in the
Right.
division. Three teams, and very competitive. All 3 teams were all equally, in a way, balanced, just the right amount of
That
balance. Nothing tipped the other differently than the other. I think they were all fair. Some,
Right.
some a little bit of disadvantage. Some had advantages. Its advantages. Older kids, travel kids. There's travel kids are players that play all year round.
Right.
Their swing is already honed in. They're the hitter. They're the top of the order. They're your infield. They're the player you depend on to bring you home. Remember, this is only rec ball, so
Right.
we had no tournament. We had no travel ball kids. We had we had half rookies, never played the game. Some of these guys were out of t-ball. Meanwhile, some of
Yep,
these kids were 8s. Some of these were 8s, so they were already playing 2 or 3 years, or 2 years in this division. You know what I'm saying? So they probably already had the experience being that in that division. So nothing against any other team, but some had their advantages and disadvantages, and and vice versa.
Right.
So you hit this patch 3-1, 4-1, whatever, and you start losing. The team just takes a dive, takes 3-4 straight smacks. Our best hitter goes 0 for 9. I mean, 0 for 9, and that's a slump. I mean, even he was upset with himself.
Well, remember.
Remember, there's a 6, 7, and 8-year-olds.
Right.
Well,
so remember we was talking about in the car about losing. Sometimes where kids lose, it's not actually a bad thing. It's actually kind of a good thing because because if you won all the time and the way the kids are so anyway with all this entertainment, like always win, and they can get a little. They can get a little cocky.
The first couple games, you win. Yeah. You're like, wait a minute. Let's get humble because we understand that how fast everything can change.
Right.
And baseball humbles you. I always, when we started losing, I gave him the Chipper Jones quote. Baseball will humble you. You can go 10 for 10 or 30 for 30 and then go 0 for 100.
Right.
Baseball, I don't know if it's exact, but baseball tends to humble you.
I'll humble you. Right.
And it's like you said, it's good to lose a couple games. It's good to lose, like you said, to put you in perspective, not to be overly cocky and think you're going to win every single game. Because the classier player comes in and plays a better game quietly,
Right.
and he's the one that eventually walks off the victor.
Right. Exactly.
So we take this. We go like what, 4 and 4-4 or something like that. And then you're like, what's going on?
Yeah, because I remember when I was in Little League, I mean, yeah, it sucked when you lost, just to admit, I'm not sure the kids feel bad. But as I got older and I realized, you know what, because some kids could be a little snooty or something like that if they think they win all the time.
Remember.
But when they lose, they get very humble.
Remember these kids, this is the
And it shows you good
first,
sportsmanship, too.
this is the first year of them playing competitive ball like this. So, there's some kids that got hit with balls and cried. Some kids that, cut themselves, bled, and went off, off on this, onto the bench and then said, I'm coming back out there with my team. Once you're up almost four, almost you're 9 games up and you got 3 games left. You're like, all right, what's this?
What's the next thing?
The doubts are starting to, what are we gonna do after the season? 'Cause we don't know. This is our first full year, and so the 10th game, we start winning. We start winning. The 11th game, we won again. So the 12th,
great,
the 12th game was the last game. We played the number 1 seed, and we tied them. We said that we think that the game was stolen from us because I'm not gonna get into detail, but the game should have ended 5 minutes before time limit because you didn't have enough time to run another inning. So the coach he wanted to go another whole inning and go another 15, 20 minutes overtime.
Right.
Over the expected amount of time so
Right.
that he can get his satisfaction so they can get either walk it off again on us, because they walked it off on us a couple times. But this time, our team fought. They tied it.
Okay.
We walked away with a tie. And my team was like, did we win or we lose? I said, no. Nobody won, but you guys still won because it was a tie. You didn't take a loss. And then it came to we had to play a playoff game with the number 2 game, or the 2 and 3 seed had to play each other. I don't think we were the 3 seed, but humble. If we were the 3 seed, I'm okay with it. We ended up playing the other team for in a wild card. Winner goes to the championship. And like I said to them, listen, you're playing a very good team. Don't be cocky. Stay humble. Play your game. Play like it's the last game. Make the best of it.
Right.
Make the best of every opportunity and just hit. Play defense and hit. And one of our kids, in the first 2 innings, he caught the ball, went to third base, tugged the other runner, unassisted solo triple play. That right there, that momentum changed the whole entire trajectory of that game.
Oh, okay.
We went up 11-3. And my kids won the playoff game to advance to the division championship game.
Oh, okay.
And
Awesome. Congratulations.
thanks.
Yes. Congrats.
And so they, there was a lot of anticipation. And
But got to say if this might be relatable. Not only that they felt bad when they lost the game, and then they got humbled, of course, but winning the division championship showed them that when you work hard.
I haven't even gotten there yet.
Oh, I'm
Too
sorry.
early.
Too early. Oh, I'm sorry.
Too early.
Too early.
So
Too soon.
we played last Monday. We played the division championship game, and my talk was this. I said to them, that tie wasn't, in my eyes, was not a tie. I told them straight out. These are 6, 7, and 8-year-olds. Okay, never played baseball on that level before. All came together, became an amazing team. I told them, my opinion, that win was stolen from us. I setting the tone as giving that chip on our shoulders. I said, listen, win or lose, in my eyes, you are already champions. I said, you have accomplished everything to get here. You deserve to play in this game. And win or lose, you're already champions. You leave it on the field, leave everything on the field. You play the game, play the defense, play your position, throw the ball, run hard, and have fun while doing it. And you know, the when we did the huddle, we
Right.
didn't give it. You know, we didn't say the name of the the sponsor. We said
Right.
we are blah blah blah, and it set the tone. It set the tone.
Right.
Now, you know, there was a little bit of drama. I'm not gonna get into the drama. We don't have
Right,
too much
right.
time. But, you know, my kids came out, made plays, hit the ball hard, all ran. Every single if you thought there was an easy out on our team, last Monday, there was no such thing as an easy out on that team. Every player hit. Every player made the best of it. And we took the win 17-3, winning the championship. Ahead of time, you know, it was a real David and Goliath battle. They were the number one seed. Was a good team. They were a stacked team. There was no expectations. I told them, I don't expect you to win. If we win, great.
Right.
If not,
Not
let's have fun doing it.
exactly.
We made fake signs. We were out there doing signs, getting in their heads. You know, and I went ahead and I bought them medals in case they lost.
Oh.
You know, I know that society is like, oh, don't give awards to losers because only the winners should get medals. But in my eyes, they were already champions because they got there. So they're my team. They were well deserved. So immediately once they won, I gave them the medals and then out the trophies. So they all not only had the medals around their neck, but they had trophies to go with it. So, I mean, it was an amazing year. You know,
Yeah, my coach never did that for me. It's like,
Well, I mean-
you won, you lost, you lost.
well, I'm the head coach. I felt their loss. I felt every single loss. I enjoyed every win and felt every single loss with them as their coach.
Right.
You know, because, you know, you see the tears, you see the disappointment. But when they won that championship, it was like, it was all worth it. It was all full circle. Like, what an amazing year. And, you know, and to top it off, we got maybe 5 minutes. But there was, you know, back to the drama. You know, there was some drama, with too many pitches, somebody arguing this or somebody arguing that, somebody yelling or, vice
Yeah.
versa. And
Yeah.
you got to keep it classy,
Classy.
or you got to always remember that the baseball diamond it should be a safe space. Safe space and place
Right.
for youngsters. And, they shouldn't, there's,
And I wanna say-
violence or any type of threat should
Right.
be in that vicinity.
And
You know
plus,
what I'm
too,
saying?
right. And I want to say this too: all the adults in any little league, baseball, you have to understand it's little league. It's not NCAA, and it's not pro.
Well, when I
know?
what I said on the field,
yeah,
I said, you and I, we're not here for you and I.
Right.
We're here for
the
them.
kids. Right.
Let them play.
Right.
So that's, if I had to say something like that, it had to be a little bit more,
Yeah.
and I have no problem with
It's not like
if,
I mean, come on.
and if for some
when
reason
you're in
these
Little
coaches
League-
see, I have no problem with anybody.
Yeah, when
I
you're
just
in Little
want fair
League,
play.
yeah, exactly. When you're in Little League, you got to understand too is that fair play, and also, I mean, they're not going to sign a deal.
No, but see, our job as coaches is
But it's
to
good for them to learn.
try
Little
to
League is to
get
learn.
them to have those aspirations, have those goals.
Right.
You
Because
know?
I think what Little League, bless you.
Thank you.
I think bless you,
Thank you.
1,000 bless yous.
Thank you.
what I'm saying is basically that with the Little League team, it's supposed to be the time where kids learn teamwork,
Chemistry,
chemistry, socialization,
make new friends,
make new friends, how to win
learn
and
how to help each
lose,
other.
help each other,
You know,
be humble,
be humble.
and see sportsmanship.
On the All Star team, my son made it to the All Stars, and I seen they were wearing different jerseys before they got their regular jerseys.
Yeah.
And one from another team was tying another team's shoe.
Shoelace.
Like that is
Yeah.
this is what baseball is about.
Right, and it's
Just
good, and that's a good age for them to learn.
Yes.
Because you have plenty of time to be a jerk if they get into like the college years. Because even in high school, I mean, I can understand.
Competitive. It's competitive. Listen.
It's
Baseball is all competitive. Yes.
Yes.
But there is a fine line that you have
Yeah.
to walk.
But
and,
when
you
you're
got to respect the game.
Yeah, oh, right. You got to respect the game, and it should teeter up all the way up. But once it gets to the major leagues, then I can understand the sentiments of the coaches and everything like that because there's big bucks involved. But when you're little league, middle school, even high school, and in some cases, I can understand college in a way. And actually, college is a little different because some of the guys or even the females for softball, they're there on a scholarship. So they have to show a little improvement. So they're there for themselves because they're on a scholarship. Not only got to get good grades, but they have to do good on the team as best as they can. But if your son or daughter, so if your son makes it to the major leagues and your daughter makes it to the major softball leagues, whatever. I know that softballs are not as popular as baseball, but whatever that case may be, save all that sentiment when they get on that field and on the pros, and where everybody's under stress and because they're making the big bucks and stuff like that. But right now in Little League, let the kids play, until they're out of high school. Let them have fun because it's different for them to practice that they do well in high school baseball, And plus, it's up to the parents to teach them, The coach is there to show them well in the game.
I mean,
but basically like homework.
But the thing is, as a coach,
that's why you have practice
as a
too, but
coach
shows
and
have
as a
homework.
parent, sometimes everyday life comes between it, and also
Yeah.
sometimes the player, the child doesn't want to communicate or doesn't want to, or there's sometimes you can't always do what you're
Right.
trying to do.
Oh, yeah.
Trust me, I've been there. I've been there.
Oh yeah.
But I do
Oh, yeah.
take my son
I've
out to
been there,
throw,
yeah.
catch the ball, and
I've been there
you know.
too. Like my stepfather wasn't really into baseball, so he always get bored. So I had to teach myself when I was younger. And again, he was my stepfather, not my real father. But now he is pretty much my father, and we get along great. It's just that baseball wasn't his thing. He liked tennis. And I didn't like tennis, so I had a hard time practicing and everything. My uncle, so I went to the batting cages. When we were younger, there was always batting cages like everywhere, even over in Langhorne.
Yeah, and batting cages were everywhere.
Everywhere.
Now
Yeah.
it's a pain in the ass. to
Yeah,
find.
pain in the ass. And two, where I lived at a long time ago, I couldn't really practice because if I hit a ball a certain way, I lived at these apartments that live on the hill, and I always got nervous that if I hit that ball in a certain way, I could break a car window. I didn't want to take that chance. So I used to go to the batting cages a lot and I practice, And I got to say, when I hit that ball, I have to say I was pretty good, when I hit that ball, and all. But when I was in high school, I played baseball. But the coach really had me on. I'll be honest with you, sometimes I wonder if my coach was a little racist because.
I dealt with
But
I dealt
when I
with
was in
something
high
similar like that. I went into high school and I signed up for high school ball, and I walked into the baseball meeting to sign up, and the head coach reamed me a new bell, an asshole, and I'm like, this is gonna be my coach. And he was like, if you don't like it, get out. And I was like, yeah, okay.
Well, I did it, and I got some stories on that alone. Being on that baseball team when I was in high school. I remember I went to 3 high schools, so it was my first one. When the coach put me on there, and every time he had it on the field, going to the batting cages, so I really was able to practice and hit that ball. I hit that ball so much, but the coach still didn't trust me to hit the ball, but he trusted me to run because during practice, he always yelled at me for stealing home base. He goes, Ruben, what the F are you doing stealing home base? You're not supposed to do that. Well, isn't that the point of the game, coach?
You can't steal home base all the time.
Well, I did.
I mean,
If
it's fair. If it's fair.
Yeah, it was fair, but it was practice. And then, because you always have me as a runner, so if I'm on the field, don't you like me to go to home if I can? Make it. He said, stop doing that. And he goes to me, he goes, how do you do that? How do you beat the ball before it gets to home? And I said, it's all mathematical. That's what it is. It's all mathematical. The ball is fast, but you can't be faster than the ball. But you can be smarter than the ball. And my trick was that if there's a free space between second base and third base, or between first and third, like second and home is free, it gives me a chance to run because I can't rely on the player to make it. Because if I do, he'll come back, and then one of us will get out. So I have to make sure either one of the bases are free in between, right? So if someone's on first, so somebody can't be on second. So if the other guy is able to run, then I can run to first base in second. So now I'm on first base, right? If I can't run yet because the guy is on second and third, but once the third baseman can make it to home, and then the second baseman.
There's a double steal. It triggers you. If it's
double steal. Now here's the thing.
Double steal.
Right.
If a first baseman steals, if it's first runner on first,
Yep.
is on first, steals second. The
They
guy
leave-
on third automatically
go home.
contest
Right.
the arm.
Arm.
But sometimes, he
Now
he can't throw because then he knows if a good catcher's catching, he knows that runner wants to come.
Exactly. Now here's the key thing. Now if the pitcher go to the batter, right, and I'm on first base, let's say, and second base is free, and the other guy's on third, right? So what I do is I time the pitcher from the time when he throws the ball. And I'm looking at it, it's like precise second, because once the ball leaves his hand, he can't grab it back.
Correct.
But if it's still in his hand, I don't run. But as soon as I come staring right at him like an eagle eye, and as soon as I see that ball, and he goes like this, because he's really fast, and a couple outs and everything, it gives me time to time it. And then once it leaves his hand, he can't grab it back. So you got that 0.5 millisecond to start to run, because from the time it leaves his hand to the coach, to the umpire, I forgot, the catcher. Right? So from there to there is like 3 or 4 seconds. So you have approximately 6 seconds, 4 to 6 seconds to get from first to second base. So if you run really fast, by the time he leaves there, by the time it gets to there, to the catcher, to the pitcher, it's like 4 to 6 seconds. So you have time. But if you sit there and wait till that ball gets midway, by the time it gets to the catcher and he can throw it to the other guy, you'll be out. So you gotta really focus.
You gotta really time.
It's all mathematical. So like I said, the ball is faster than you, but it has to go here first, and then here. So it's 1, 2. But so by the time it gets to 1, I'm already halfway there, and by the time the catcher catches the ball, I'm already near the second base.
Yesterday I'm the first base coach for. I'm an assistant coach. This is my first year as an all-star coach, and the kid hit it, and the outfielder bobbles it, and I said, "Go 3." I said, "Go 2, go 2," and immediately he bobbles, and I said, "Go 3," and then he goes up mid, and sees that the guy has control, and it comes back. So he could. There was seconds where he could have. He could have took third
base
easy. But he was
came back.
You know what? Let me go back. Let me not challenge the arm. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. That's the key thing. But if he's about to throw, I wouldn't run.
I always tell them. I always tell when there's an infielder with an infield. I always tell them the ball thrown is faster than the runner.
Right.
So I say to them, most often the kids want to make the play themselves.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, if you got the ability to make that play, make it.
Mm-hmm.
But if
You know,
you're over here, mate, throw that ball.
yeah, exactly.
Trust your first baseman, trust your third baseman,
right?
trust your second baseman, and it's
Yeah.
if they put trust, they absolutely do.
Right. See, the thing is, I would see when you're on those bases, focus on the pitcher. Focus on the pitcher. Wait till that ball.
Focus on the batter if you're well,
Well,
in our league,
I'm talking about before.
yeah, in our league,
Well,
they got to focus.
I'm talking
on
about like if you're stealing bases,
Correct.
focus on the pitcher. That's what I really mean, because if the ball, because I see this a lot, and you probably seen this too, where the ball is still in the pitcher's hand and someone still tries to steal base, right? That's what I noticed when I was playing high school baseball, and I was like, so when the ball is still in the pitcher's hand, they still try to steal base, but they don't steal base after the ball leaves. They wait to see what happens, and if there's an open spot. But once that ball leaves the pitcher's hand, that millisecond, that not even 1 second, I'm talking about like a half a second, as soon as it leaves the hand, you run. So I time myself as the ball leaves, I run. So when I'm running as fast as I can with agility, and if I have to slide, I slide, whatever, because I got 4 to 6 seconds. But because everything is timed. Because the catcher, he's on the ground, right? So once he catches the ball, he has to stand up and then throw. Mm-hmm. So you count, right? It takes about 1-2 seconds to get to the catcher. By the time the catcher catches it, you're already at the 3rd second. He still has to stand up, prepare himself, and then throw as fast as he can. And that's still 3 seconds. Yeah. So you had like 4 to 6 seconds.
Yeah, true. No, listen, absolutely.
to steal that base. But you have to leave as soon as, if you leave any later from when the pitcher throws the ball,
you leave any time open, that's it. You're done.
You're done. That's it. You're done. It was like trial and error, and that's how I did it in practice, because that's what I told the coach. I said, Coach, I timed everything, and I said to him, just like I told you, when the ball leaves the pitcher's hand, I have 4 to 6 seconds to get from first to second base if second base is open.
Correct.
Or third base is open and I'm on second. But if there's a man on second and I'm running, I'm not going to make it. There has to be an open gap.
Correct.
But if all bases are loaded, I'm done.
Well,
you're done. It's mathematics.
The other day, Sunday was my birthday.
Oh, happy birthday!
Thank you.
AARP card yet? No,
not yet. Not yet. So this little championship was a great birthday present.
Amen.
They don't know how proud I am of them, but I am very proud. Congrats to my Brookwood Cafe Little League Coach Bitch team winning their championship.
Right.
This is me dedicating my show to them, their hard work, the blood, sweat, and tears they left on the field. They brought to the field, left on the field. They cried. They got hurt. They got wet. They hit their knee, got hit with the ball. They got hit with the bat. They crashed into a run into the the base, and they had, those are the downs, but they had ups. Unassisted triple play, some doubles. Hit to the outfield, amazing catches, amazing plays, solo plays, putouts, tag outs. It was just they're all champions. Well deserved. Congrats.
Right. Congratulations to all you guys.
Thank you. And to the All-Stars that I'm coaching, my son and my Brookwood 4, congrats as well.
And I just want to leave this just a word of advice.
Love the game. Love the game and stay humble.
Love the game. Yes, there you go.
Love the game and stay humble.
Love the game, stay humble, and remember, you have your whole life ahead of you. To play baseball, this is just the beginning for you, being in Little League. And if you want to advance further after high school, go try it. Anybody could try it, and if that's your dream, I know when you're little now, but when you get older, you might want to do high school baseball and go to college. And, you never know.
Shout out to little Ralphie.
Yeah, oh yeah, shout out to little Ralphie. I can't believe how big have you gotten so far. Right? Yeah.
And if people don't know how I emphasize teaching the game right and doing it right, it's let me show you that number 21.
21.
Roberto Clemente, man. That's one of my heroes that taught the game, played the game, and loved the game.
Hey Ralph, you think I have a chance to be on a Little League?
We have to shave you up.
I'll shave you up a little bit.
Knock your knees out so you can, He might be. Well, listen.
I probably still suck.
This is in my circle.
Let me close you.
If you like what you see, please like, share, and subscribe, and please comment. We love our comments. We read every comment, and yes, if you have, a request for a show, yes, we're gonna get there to do those type of shows. Absolutely. Thank you for watching. Shout out to my Brookwood Cafe team for winning the championship. It was an honor to coach them this year, and we'll see what happens next year. And I'm Ralph, and it's in my circle, and we're out. Peace. I'm gonna leave you this.